play all parts of the court. Play defense as well as offense. You know, I was always offensive player. I love to shoot basketball. Everybody loves to do that part of the game. That's the easiest part of the game. But you know, the guys that are great players, the well-rounded players, guys like Michael Jordan back in the day, or Dr. J back when I played, Larry Bird, those guys played both ends of the court. Guys like LeBron James, you know, he's not only is he a great offensive player, but he's probably the best defensive player at a number of different positions. So, in order to be the best, you got to play in all areas on the basketball court. So that's very important that you work on your weaknesses as well as your strong points. I grew up in a small town. The youngest of 11 kids had 7 sisters, 3 brothers, and 1 bathroom. For a lot of my life, the bathroom was outside. I worked real hard at my game, and over a period of time became a pretty good player. When I was 5'8", I worked on my jumping ability. I used to do ankle weights and half squats. And, by the time I was 5'8", in the 8th grade, I could dunk a basketball. I went on to play college, and I played at NC State, had an outstanding career, played with some great players. They call us the circus team because we had a guy by the name of Monty Towle who was 5'7". They called him the midget, but we also had a guy by the name of Tommy Burleson. He was 7'4". Because I could jump and had all those alley-oops and vertically, they called me the high wire act. So we had the midget, the giant, and the high wire act. So they called us the circus team. But while I was in college, we had a great career. I played on a team that won a few ACC titles, and probably my toughest competition. Since I was a good scorer, guys always tried to play me real physical. I think some of my toughest competition was from Jeff right here. I score him sometimes, and then he gets real physical, which I beat him up a little bit, but that's basketball. Anyway, I played in the NBA, had an outstanding career, was in the first slam dunk competition, was one of the highest paid players in all of sports. I signed the highest contract ever given to anybody in the history of team sports. In 1978, I signed a 5-year, $4 million contract, which was a lot of money back then. With my David Thompson DT basketball shoes and Wilson basketball endorsements, I was making almost $2 million a year. So,
Still a lot.
Still a lot.
Yeah. But later on, I got involved in some bad choices. I got involved with drugs and alcohol. I ended up losing almost everything I worked so hard to gain. And I won't go all into my full testimony tonight, so I want you guys to come back tonight. But, I'm here today to talk to you kids about making good choices and scoring big in life. Because a lot of what you do in life, a lot of the choices you make will have an impact on what you become in life. Now, SCORE is an acronym I came up with. The S stands for sacrifice. Nothing in life with having comes easy. You have to be willing to make some sacrifices. The greatest sacrifice was Jesus Christ. He died on the cross to save us from our sins. We all know that, right? But to be a good basketball player, you got to make some sacrifices. Now, probably one of the greatest teams in the recent history was the Chicago Bulls. Now, everybody can't be a Michael Jordan. There might have to be some Scottie Pippins or some Tony Kukocs or some Dennis Rodman. Well, maybe not too many Dennis Rodman. But to be a good team, you got to be willing to make some sacrifices. So it's very important that you be willing to make some sacrifices. To be a basketball player, you got to get out on that court and you got to practice. Like I was talking about before, working on your weaknesses as well as your strong points. To be a good student, which is very important. You got to open up those books. You got to study. You got to have a game plan for success. The C stands for confidence. You got to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Now, I work with the Charlotte Hornets organization, and you kids might be too young to know this guy, but they have some great players that played at that organization. They had guys like Alonzo Mourning, Larry Johnson, Del Curry, but the guy that I respected the most, the guy that impressed me the most, was a guy they said it was too short to play in the NBA. They said that There's no way a guy 5'3" can play in the NBA. But that little guy used to dribble down the court, go between his legs, go behind his back. You throw that alley-oop pass to Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson would catch the ball, dunk it over his shoulder. He'd run down the court, rub this little big-head kid on the top of the head. You pick him up, carry him down the court. And most nights he took him out to dinner because that little guy made him better. And that little guy was Muggsy Bogues. Now, if Muggsy Bogues at 5'3" can play in the NBA, if you believe in yourself and work hard, you can do or be anything you want to be in life. But it all comes from believing in yourself and having confidence. But we all know that the only true confidence comes from trusting in the Lord. Because Philippians 4:13 says what? It says, I can do all things through Christ, who strengthens me. O stands for organization. Success doesn't happen. You got to plan it. You got to have a game plan for success. You got to have short-term goals and long-term goals. How many kids have set goals? How many kids would like to be on your team, make your team, your school team? Okay? How many kids would like to go to college? Possibly play college basketball, play in the WNBA. Yeah, because you can all do this. My niece had a niece that played at the University of North Carolina. Her name's Charlotte Smith. She was only the second woman to ever dunk a basketball in a college game. She's 5'11", 6 foot tall, played at North Carolina. She won the ESPY Award a few years back. She hit her team was down by 2 points, and it was 0.7 seconds left. The coach called an out of bounds play. She caught the ball at the 3-point line and hit the shot at the buzzer to win the national championship. But, so, if she can make it, any of you can. Any of you girls, any of you guys can. But it comes from having confidence in yourself, being organized, and working hard. The R stands for respect. First of all, you have to respect your coaches, respect your parents. The Bible says you should honor your parents. Respect each other, and most of all, you got to respect yourself. When you respect yourself, you won't get involved in things that's going to bring you down. Things like drugs, guns, games, crime. Respect others and respect yourself. And the last part of this score equation is probably the most important part because it's the only way that you can assure yourself of being successful. And someone said that the only way to break the cycle of poverty is through education. Because if you have a good education, you can always provide for your kids and the next generation to come. And put all these things together, the S stands for sacrifice, C stands for confidence, O, organization, R, respect, E, education, and first and foremost, a personal relationship with God through his Son, Jesus Christ. Each and every one of you can score big in life and have a great life. I want to thank y'all for letting me share that.